today. Yes, today. We find ourselves all equally blessed on this journey through greater and lesser evils. Join us as we explore the hard realities and uncomfortable truths plaguing our society. So without any further ado, let's jump right in and rip this band-aid off together. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Greater Lesser Evils. GLE Nation, we're in the studio. I'm with my boys. We're here for you. I hope you're ready. So as always, I'm joined with the guy on my right, the master detective, Sherlock Holmes himself, the Tank.
What's up?
Also, the guy that's going to be dissecting your body while you're sitting there naked.
Xavier's
and he's
here,
about
too.
you. Xavier, how we doing?
He gives me this giant intro, and he's like, Xavier's here,
All right,
too.
I made it. Here we go.
How do you go from Sherlock Holmes?
That's
he's going to be the one taking care of you when you're dead.
Yeah, it's like this is don't need to hype.
That's carrying hands.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
A man
right.
that needs no intro.
No
But
hype.
you didn't do your guns like you said you were going to do your guns.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
no
good.
gun
I'm
there?
good. I'm good. No
Good.
guns today.
All right, so let's move forward to the movie today. Obviously, I'm not wearing a shirt, so you can't tell what we're going to talk about today. We got Anatomy of a Fall. Now, if you like subtitles, key on in. But let's go ahead and go for it. Starring Sandra Hüller, Swan Arlud, Milo Machado Grainer, who was actually the kid, and by the way, he was not blind in real life. I had to make sure because I was absolutely shocked at how well his blind performance was.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta make sure.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did great. Yeah.
Okay, give him the first 30 seconds. That scene with the dog where he was letting the dog.
Oh, that's where I turned it off because I saw subtitles and I turned on Sandlot instead. I hope that's cool. Spoiler, one of the kids makes it to the majors. You don't remember? I don't know how to read. I didn't know there was actually going to be homework on the screen. It took me 9 hours to get through the movie.
You know what? They did call him Benny the Jet.
Yeah.
This little kid's nickname was Benny the Jet before he lost his eyesight. Directed by I didn't know where I left off. Written by Julian. I don't even pronounce these words. Look, if anyone's taking shots every time I mess up a word, you're drunk already. Written by Julian Triet, Arthur Harari. Directed by Justine Triet. I guess maybe they're daughters, sisters, something. Cool, whatever. Budget of $6.7 million. Box office got $35 million. For awards, it won the 2024 Oscar for Best Original Screenplay for Justine Triet and Arthur Harari. Also was nominated for Best Picture, didn't get it. It won 105 awards.
I don't know how.
And you're waiting for the most obscure award that it won? The Golden Derby Award for Best Actress for Sandra Hüller.
You're just trying to give me a stroke.
Derby. All right.
Another fake award. I can't wait until GLE Nation makes us so popular that we get a fake award, so I'll stop trashing the awards. Because then I'll be like, all the other ones are fake except for this one. This is the only one that matters.
They'll be like, we're so honored to accept this award that no one has ever heard of before.
So, before we even start this review, do you think this was worth it?
Yeah, this is an excellent movie.
Well, I don't disagree, honestly, because when you look at what the world is watching, this is on all the lists in the top 10.
Okay.
You know, so it's not just because people are feigning sophistication or whatnot. You know, like this, the plot of the movie is excellent.
It's very simple,
and it does move along in a very interesting way.
I know I trashed on a little kid again. I'm going to trash on this kid a little bit. He made me so mad. First, let's start with this. It starts the freaking movie by who lets the blind kid wash the fucking dog. That's like letting.
But he's not blind. He's vision impaired. He's just got.
Vision impaired,
He can see a little bit.
Yeah.
He's not all the way blind.
Yeah.
He had to sniff the dog.
No, but
sure.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
he can see because vision impaired.
shapes and shadows?
He can see shapes and shadows. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just can't.
He's not all the way blind.
So he can see dirt. He can see dirt.
Well, probably not.
So why is he washing the dog? That's cruel.
But it's not hard to wash a dog.
Yeah,
you just
feel it.
scrub.
Yeah, you just scrub. Yeah, you just. It's just soap and water.
It's the same way my wife gives me a bath. She doesn't have to see me. She closes her eyes. I also shower with the lights off because I don't want to see it. And you just feel around until you go, that's enough.
There you go. Bada
the
bing,
same-
bada bang.
yeah.
All right.
You know, I don't find it unrealistic that a vision impaired child could wash a dog.
I think that's like kicking the deaf kid, or doing something.
no,
or,
not at all.
Like,
No.
all right. That's just
but
me.
they're showing you some independence and whatnot. That he's not all the way dependent on anybody.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so what about
See,
when the
even
dog-
somebody with a disability
when
can
the
do
dog
stuff?
when the dog took him out to the woods, you let your dog lead your kid out in the woods?
Well, no, that was a support dog, though.
No,
Yeah.
it was
Support
not
dog.
actually. So I thought it was the entire time. Not to jump on you on that. That was their dog that it actually adapted support qualities because they didn't have money. They
Right.
didn't have money to
Yeah.
buy support.
Okay.
That dog already existed before that.
Okay.
I was hoping they were
Yeah.
going to come up on the witch's house, with the gingerbread and whatnot. Anything would have been more interesting than what was going on there for me, though. Because I'm like, oh, it's a French movie, maybe grim fairy tale or something English is going to happen, and it didn't, So then I had to watch more.
Oh. And we did. We watched all of it. And actually, you know what? Honestly, it wasn't that bad. For someone that it gives us what I do love, and we'll hit on this more later. It gave us you perspective of kind of another way a court system works, because the French court system works completely different than the American court system.
Crazy.
And that's
Yeah.
insane with that. But so let's go forward with this. I kind of want to ask. Before he leaves, you can already see that the family element is having problems. You can already see the woman's trying to do an interview downstairs. The student's there.
And the dad's an asshole. Her husband's an asshole upstairs, jealous as shit.
Yeah.
So he just starts ruining the interview.
Yeah.
Blaring 50 Cent. And the acoustic version of Pip, I actually like the acoustic version better than I like the original 50
Well, no,
I
that-
imagine every music in France is different
Yeah.
like that. Everything's just the acoustic version of boring.
I've been there. And actually, you know what? I've been to France, and I had an ex stalk me to France. And when I told the authorities that there was an ex to actually so here, full circle. I was dating this girl. I broke up with her, and then we were supposed to go to France on a vacation, right, in Paris. She knew what hotel I was going to. She showed up to that hotel, was there when I fucking checked in. Just sitting there going, I'm not here, I'm in the corner.
What are you doing here?
And when I called the authorities and I was like, you need to remove her from this, they're like, no, we can't. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And she kept on calling me, sending me notes through worm service. I left France. I was there for 2 days. It was like a $15,000 vacation. I got the frick out of Dodge.
I feel as though you're traumatized from France.
I am.
And that hence, therefore, you hate this movie.
He
Just
doesn't
because
like
it's
croissants.
just because it's in
He doesn't,
France.
doesn't like French kids.
Hey, there we go. Then so be it. There goes the shield with that.
We're going to set up a GoFundMe because this guy's stuff is just...
Hey, look, the American shield couldn't take the French banjo.
I know.
I see that.
It left. I'm next.
All right, with that being said, she talks about one of her favorite things in life. So what I want you guys to do is tell the GLE Nation what's some of the favorite things that Xavier and the Tank like to do in life.
You want to go first? You go first.
Well, I'm a family man, so anything really that has to do with my family, and a lot of those group activities, involve, being with other people, barbecuey things, drinky things, telling tall tales, just spending time with loved ones, really. A little boring when it comes to
Sounds like the American
that.
dream right there, brother.
Yeah, it's about the same. Like, being around people who want to be
Skydiving,
around you. Yeah.
wrestling bears.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, just stuff that
wrestle
active
bear?
stuff. No, I actually like just active stuff. Being
Working
there.
out.
Yeah, working out. I like cars, but it's not about like the cars themselves. All right, so it's like it's not a thing. It's the idea of the internal combustion engine.
It's the whole experience,
whole
though.
experience of,
feeling the speed and the power and things
yeah.
like that.
The rush.
Yeah, I dig
of
that.
the car. Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm a gamer. I like to travel the world. I like to enjoy my time with the people I love the best.
Yeah, man.
And just go forward and just take advantage of every single second we have. So I think this family's trying to do that, and they go about it a bad way, and they probably really don't need to be with each other. But fast forward, the kids comes back, and you find a dead body just sitting there on the ground. Explain.
Well, this is
go with this.
Well, this is the whole premise of the movie. So it introduces you to a family that you you don't know about, so you have an outside perspective to get that. All right, we don't know what's going on, but like it looks like something is going on.
Yeah.
But then you come back, the kid comes back from the walk, and then dad is dead from what looks like just a horrible like
accident of something.
of something that happened.
Yeah, I think it was meant
To be that
to
way.
kind of confuse, like, oh my God, what exactly happened?
Yeah.
And they set that up really well.
Perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
So let's put you both in the director's chair. Would you have presented this differently? Because we don't actually get here. The spoiler again. You don't get a payoff. She gets acquitted, but you don't get a payoff to actually see what actually happened, to the actual fall or anything with that. Would you have addressed this any differently? Would you have presented this to the
No,
audience?
I honestly thought that was brilliant
Yes.
because if what you're even trying to get the flies on the wall, the audience to feel is confusion and how did it happen, and the little boy, doesn't he happen upon and start screaming?
Yeah,
He does.
That's how
so-
the mother finds out. She wakes up from a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you have is chaos in its most pure form.
Fair.
Yes.
And I think they do embody that very, very much
Yes.
well with that scene.
Yeah, it's done very. I call it Hitchcock style.
Sure. No, I'll go with that.
Very Hitchcock because each time you're questioning, what am I hearing? Is it the truth? And that's the whole thing
Yeah.
about Hitchcock. You never know whether what you're hearing is the truth or is it just this person's plotting.
Yeah.
Are they plotting or is it just the truth? And that's the weirdest thing at all. I mean, that's the weirdest thing of all is wonder of knowing whether or not either she's telling the truth or the court system is trying to prove her to be wrong. It becomes this whole.
It's a push-pull.
Yeah, it's a push pull.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's push pull the whole time. That's the thing that keeps you interested in this movie. But
Yeah, and they don't tell you much,
No.
at the beginning of
But-
it too. So even the
Yeah.
audience is starting to draw their own conclusions,
Exactly.
and they're already taking sides.
Yeah.
This
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's predetermined with that too. And I think before we go into that, loss of the senses is a very big deal. And obviously, this kid couldn't be Daredevil. And he wasn't going to be able to see sonar and be able to go forward with that. I've been around a lot of challenge.
First of all, why would you bring up Daredevil?
Because that's not. I hope that
That's not.
maybe
No,
He
there's no way
basically
he's gonna
hopes
be Daredevil.
everybody becomes Daredevil.
That's not a thing.
That's not a thing.
That's not a thing. You can't dodge bullets by sound. That's not.
in my head it's
normal.
still.
That's
It's
what
up
I'm
there with the ninjas. It's up there with the ninjas.
He's
my
always
friend.
hoping that every movie becomes a superhero movie.
Yeah, it's like that's not.
He's not
that's
wrong.
No,
You're like,
He's not
this is
wrong,
the
dude.
kid's origin
Yeah.
story. He lost.
he lost his dad,
lost his dad.
in a tragic accident.
What's your name?
He trained hard. He trained hard. Stick came out of nowhere.
There's a Rocky montage
Yeah.
scene. Rocky 4,
Exactly,
they're
yeah.
already in the woods. He can run up the mountain. It's right there. It's set up. But I've been around a lot of people that have lost a sense or blind and disabled and some of these other things. And it hurts to watch, to be honest with you. I feel like I'm the bad person just being around them because I treat them differently. Anyway, so I guess my thing is, and I don't even know before I ask you guys this, if you had to give up one sense, what would you give up?
Ooh. Probably smell for me. There's so many beautiful things in the world, that I wouldn't want to miss out, and beautiful sounds, that are out there, but it wouldn't hurt my feelings if I didn't know you smelled like onion rings, so
It's hot on the set, ladies and gentlemen.
no.
I'm sorry. Look, he doesn't even want to say admit it smells like it's odoriferous over here. Let me
No,
stretch
I'm
out.
obviously kidding, but no, seriously, smell. I mean, there's not. I mean, I would miss smell, like the smell of apple pie or banana breads and things, But I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's the one I could come to terms with living without. Because I do love movies, I do love music, and without my eyes and ears, I wouldn't be able to enjoy
Not losing.
those things.
Yeah. The Sixth Sense. I would deal. I would deal on the Sixth.
Oh, we forgot. He
Yeah.
does have the sixth sense. I forgot what six senses
Yeah.
that were there. My
That's my whole
apologies.
point. Yeah.
I
You
knew
would
you were
give
going to
that up?
say that.
Yeah,
I would touch over that. I'd keep your sixth sense, man.
what good does it do you when all you see is bad? Like
Right.
all the people that's is coming around. that-
lose my women's
Exactly. That's my whole point. You see what I'm going with this? You see what I'm going with this, right?
But then
Like,
you'd have no gut
Yeah.
instincts anymore.
Yeah, but what's the point in this day and time when everything is literally given to you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Your everything is given to you. You're treated like children. You drive at a certain speed. You can't even. What's the point of it now? Like that's why so many people are dumb and still alive right now. When reality being, they should have been killed like years ago.
Yeah, take the warning labels off of everything.
The law is literally only keeping these people alive. The law keeps them alive, not the world itself.
Let's start with the law there. Let's go with that concept here. The law very much think that she did this. They had a hard-on for her.
Yeah.
Like, even like going through those scenes, it was obvious that they were just trying to figure out a way to show exactly that she did it.
Well, see, this is the thing. I don't think they were trying so hard. I think that this is just how the law works. Right, so it's just like I just
think the French hate women. That's me. You've seen the way over the years that they just treat their women over there. They're just finding another reason to put one in jail.
We'll see what.
But she's German.
Yeah, but she's not even French.
But she's in France.
Yeah, but
right?
she's in France. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So to me, when I watched this movie, how I put this movie in perspective was, this is a movie that had no clear good guy or bad guy.
Okay.
Right. So they tried. It's not they were trying to define the villain in this movie, but this movie. This is one of the only movies I know of that had no villain. There was no clear delineation between what was good and what was bad.
Yeah.
So the attempt was made to get you invested in the idea that government is out to get this woman.
Yeah.
Right. While at the same time, her lawyer was this good guy. Right. But when you're listening to the conversation, you find out that they're not good people.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something to fast forward, because you brought up the lawyer?
Yeah.
Do you think the lawyer was doing it for his own reasons, though? So let me fast forward to the part where before she's found not guilty. Mm-hmm. He admits that he loved her before she got married.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then the intimate scene with each other. Do you really think this is him just basically pitching himself to this? Because I don't think he actually believed that she didn't do it.
See, that's the thing.
He kept coming up with, alibi after alibi after alibi.
Not in court. I mean, himself.
No.
Like his own
but
personal.
like when they are like outside of court and they're trying to discuss like their strategy and whatnot, I mean, if he thought she was innocent, you shouldn't have to come up with alibi after alibi after alibi. And the thing that really started to bother me was the you hate kids, but
Most
the
days.
kid kept changing his story.
Yep.
Conveniently
too.
Yeah. Like, I remember now.
Yeah.
God came to me in a dream and he told me last night. But seriously.
Yeah. But so that's what I mean, right? So like you just pointed out, but at the end of all of it, see, the lawyer is only doing his job. His job is so it's like a lot of people get invested in stuff, but you have to understand a lawyer's job is to do what? Is to win his case.
Correct.
So it's not whether he took it personal or not, that wasn't the case. His whole thing was, I want to win.
Yeah.
And because he's a professional, he's going to do everything in his power without any bias to try to win this case.
But I want to say that he
was biased.
Okay, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. That's what I wanted to
that's what I'm
if you got
saying.
that same
Not
thing.
saying he wasn't. Yeah, he was definitely biased.
That's kind of my implication too, and that's why just try to spin the story a little more and a little more and a little more until they got it right.
Yeah, but he was an excellent lawyer in this movie for the resources that he had, which wasn't much, to be able to pull this off. But that's the beauty of this movie, is that it gets you emotionally involved in a movie with no action.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Think about it for a minute. Like you're emotionally involved. You're 100% invested, trying to see. You want to know how this turns out, and you want to know, is there a truth behind this?
Yeah.
Is there a real truth?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it like a good
The kid
movie.
could see the whole time.
Could see the whole time.
So I want to get into the actual courtroom, because that's pretty much where the rest of this goes forward. I would just want some stats just to make sure everyone is really tracking at what's really at stake here. So 95% of all pleas, or all guilty pleas, come from the defendant actually saying they're guilty, right? So 95%. So you very rarely, as much as Law and Order likes to tell you, you very rarely see a case go to trial and to go to this point. Now, with that being said, there's estimated 4 to 6% of people in jail right now are innocent.
I've heard it's actually higher. It's closer to 15%, you know, from some survey resources and things out there. But there is certainly a number out there that even the judicial system knows is in fact innocent.
And it could be part of the broken parts of the system. And what we actually find here is we find people that want to be right on one side, the law, and people that want to be right, the defendant and her lawyer, and they're battling. And it's almost not like they care about the woman's fate.
They don't.
They care about who's right.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they really do either.
No, they don't. It's about who wins. See, at the end of the day, that's what I was talking about. Like, so if you, a lot of times trying to think of these people as being right or wrong isn't the right way to see it. You have to see it as like, this is a career builder. So they want to keep going in their career. They need to win cases. They win this case or a big case, they go further up in their careir. They become a judge, and that door.
And I'm going to double down on my point.
Yeah.
What made it even more disturbing for me at the start of the trial, they made it a point of saying the song that he chose was conveniently was chosen to express his feelings toward her, and they tried to make that part of her implication that she was guilty. A song can't make you guilty. It's not Straight Outta Compton. Like, you can't get mad at people back in the day over dumb shit like that.
Man, so this is another thing about this. So if you want to go first?
Nope, not at all.
So this is another thing about this movie is getting it. It's that,
I didn't read this part of the movie.
So this is the whole thing. So reading in between the lines. So this is how the human mind works, right?
Yeah.
You jump to it's called a connection between the two. So the song playing in the background, which is 50 Cent, PIMP. Right, so that mean in this song is all about how you love nothing, you only there to have sex, and you're there to basically conquest. It's about conquest of multiple partners. This song is playing in the background. So from that point on, the jump in like logic is, the jump in logic is that this woman is already a cheater. All right, so that's the whole point.
They do discuss her infidelities,
and that's the whole, and that's what it comes down to, right?
Can I stop you there? Because you're killing all these points with me going forward, and I love it. She actually goes on to a rant when the prosecutor calls her out on her cheating, and her justifying for cheating was, well, some people just have needs, and we get to do what we want, but we didn't really understand all this. Can you justify that actual cheating thing that she just tried to present herself as the innocent person, when at the end of the day, she was the one that was wrong?
But see, this is what it comes down. See, this is what makes this movie so great. This actually had nothing to do with the case. It was really just a defamation of her character.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That was the whole point. They wanted to tear her character down to show that because she is this way, hence, it's like they're trying to associate A with B, but instead it really had nothing to do with A, had nothing to do with C, right? And that's what the whole point. Tear the person down, the character, and then from that point on, we can basically convince the jurors that this person is 100% guilty. And that's what but cheating doesn't equate to, I want to kill this person. That's just it, right? And I mean, like, that's for anyone, but so that's the same thing with associating with lying. Lying does not mean that this person is going to kill you. You sleep. I'm going to throw them out a window. No, that's not a thing.
It was just like the movie I watched when they hit the home run and the dog gets it. Because there was too much reading, and don't make me read these movies. And the dog gets it, and then they have to go over the fence to get the ball back from the killer dog.
Almost like you guys are reading my brain. I'm going to go in where the dog gets it, and I want to beat the hell out of this little fucking kid.
You and this kid.
Dude.
You and this kid.
I don't know what's up with you.
I'm going to validate. I will validate myself for everyone going forward with this, because it will make full sense.
This is the only movie there has been no talk of beating kids. You've been saying it so far, right?
This is why this kid should get beat. That dog loves him unconditionally. That dog will do everything. That dog has been supporting him for the 5-6 years, whatever they said, how long the incident's been, his entire life. So what does this little shithead do? He's unsure what's in his freaking little head, so he starts this little test and poisons this dog.
You have to explain why he poisoned. So why he poisoned the dog?
Have at it. Please defend this little fucker.
No, I'm saying you have to explain, because you just jumping right into it. So the point is that the kid. So in the courtroom, it is explained. The mom comes out and says that she believes that her husband was suicidal before.
Yeah.
Because he threw up one night. She saw the throw up. There were like pills in it. All right. the kid never knew about this. So he said he had this, like, he remembered the dog was like drinking a lot of water one morning. So he decided, like, while no one else is around, poison the dog.
Yeah, he's gonna try to
recreate like what happened to the dog.
What I want to know is why that dog was not nominated for like an Academy Award, because dude, I thought that dog looked dead, and then its eyes started going. I thought it was a fake dog at first,
but it was a real dog.
It was a real dog.
Yeah.
And then I want to call PETA and be like, you see what France is doing to their dogs over there?
So I was waiting for that screen that you see at the movie.
Like,
no dogs
that
were
dog
harmed.
really looked dead to me.
Yeah,
I didn't see it at the end, by the way. I don't know if French films have to have that.
No, it actually said we totally harmed this dog at the end of this movie.
Somebody should have knocked the dog out.
At least one animal was harmed in the filming of this.
At least give him like a filet mignon after that. He killed it, though, straight up.
Yeah, that dog was out of it.
Yeah, I'd love to know how they actually pulled that off. You know, like with the sedative, with the tongue hanging out, you know, and then they waited, you know, like, oh, it's a 10-minute, you know, and then they kind of filmed it as he started coming out or whatever it was. Because, you know, that looked real as anything.
I was mad. Again, I was so mad. I was almost done. I was like, if this dog dies because this little shithole, man, I'm never going to have a kid. Never. On that same note, so I want to go in the interesting choice of what the judge did. And maybe you guys can help me out here. Tell me what you feel about this here. Sending her back to live with the one defendant that really held her life in balance. When the judge let her go back to go live with her son during the duration of the trial, that trial was a whole year. We watched a year happen in front of us.
Didn't they discuss that a little bit, though? Because you don't want to put the kid in, you know, foster care or anything like this, you know.
Because he's also special needs, too.
Yeah.
So.
But does that impede the actual law portion, though? Does that make I mean, honestly, what influence?
Collaborate the story at home, you know.
There you go. That's what I'm going with here.
Mommy will give you back one of your eyes if you tell him. Oh my God. I don't know how it works in France. That's what I'm saying. You know? Tell him Mommy didn't do it.
It bothered me. I can't see an American court trial doing that. Okay, let's say that we're roommates and you're the one that's going against me and I'm taking care of you and your special needs too. Does that mean you're Rain Man? Does that mean that I need to go back in the same trial that you're going to be implicated in presenting whether I go to jail for the rest of my life or whether I go free? That's going to be fair.
Well, see, I think that really was addressed earlier because remember they wanted to jail her beforehand and she made bail, and that was part of the condition. They expressed that, you know, she does. I mean, like, she is responsible for the child, and then you can't not make money plus take care of a child plus have the court system. Like it's like no matter what, you would end up not only bankrupting.
It's almost like they really had no choice.
Yeah, there's no choice. Yeah,
it's just the best way, you know, to even further the story along.
Yeah, and then on top of that, they also had the court administrator who was living with them at that certain point. I guess it is. So I can understand like why.
Yeah, I mean, there's some monitoring that's going on there. You know, it's not like they were always alone to. Yeah. You know,
I don't know if they really had a good relationship either. If we really want to go on that,
the whole thing was kind of strange to me.
Well, see, so what you guys are not picking up on is what the underlying movie, the underlying theme of this movie, right? Which is like the biggest part of this movie actually is the person who's not in the movie, which is the dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, and I love the recreation of everything they did to try to find it out. You know, and what do you think about the dad? Do you think he suicided himself, or do you think she helped him suicide himself?
Well, see that
it's assisted suicide.
No. So the way I see it, well, I'll say that. So to answer your question, yes, I do believe like from this movie killed itself. Right?
Me too.
So I was going to get into this like later on. Yeah. But there was this thing called that I think the main purpose of the movie was about. It's called. You ever heard the term emotional labor?
Yeah.
All right. So in this movie, first of all, when you first watch this movie, you think, man, this dude is like.
Can you explain that for the people that may not have?
Oh, I am. So here we go. So emotional labor, as described by this guy named Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. So shout out to Dr. T. Hassan Johnson who's out there. All right. Defined as the preemptive yet proactive work of protecting loved ones by both solving and preventing potential problems, especially in situations where the emotional toll of it can last years, of guiding, advising, strategically joking or teasing changing TV shows or movies. These are examples of emotional labor, or avoiding them altogether. And sometimes engaging in strategic silence when most useful to her, to initiate a conversation or sex, remedy a practical need, provide a nominal distraction, tell a story, sometimes related, sometimes purposefully not, or give a gift at precisely the most impactful moment. That's emotional labor.
And let me double down real fast before I give it right back to you. This is kind of like one of those things where weights build up on your shoulder. You could have a 5-pound weight and then have 100, and it gets worse and worse, like depression and everything else in time. So it's a real serious condition. Go ahead, keep going.
And so so he talks about this, and the woman in the movie, she just blows it off because you know what? That's not her problem, right? And so, this is not to say that this is a man versus woman thing, but in this particular movie, all right, this man is working extremely hard, but then he realizes that like he's just been overwhelmed. He's been overwhelmed because he really is taking care of the kid. He really is trying to like make money. He's doing physical and emotional labor while at the same time like being treated like less than. Sure. And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So he gets no reward for any of his emotional labor he's doing. He's anticipating every want and need of everybody in the house except himself.
That's why I kind of felt like, you know, no matter how the child changed the story to protect the mother, that, you know, the way that they wanted the audience to draw their own conclusion, and I think I was on the side that he actually did it, but like trying to burn the house down, you know, like a slow motion walk away from, you know, everything that, you know, happened to him, and he was trying to get his revenge on the way out the door. You know, because he already knew, like, oh, this is it. But, you know, if I can screw her over at the same time.
She should never be happy ever again. Because this happened to me. She should never be allowed to be happy.
Yeah. So let me expound upon that. I'm going to put a question to both of you then. A lot of times in relationships, you have to make sacrifices for each other. And you have to give, you know, give and take in the relationship here. Tell me, from your point of view, both give and take here, what you feel there. Would you be able to deal with this situation? How would you handle it? Roll with it here for me. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, so this is actually very real and near and dear to my heart, you know, because we know this is still kind of a man's world, you know, and my wife is the breadwinner of my house, and we had to work very hard for her to survive she had to work twice as hard, you know, for her male counterpart to get a promotion, you know, to make sure that she would be able to succeed. I threw my career away because we had kids and we didn't want nannies and things like this. So I stayed home. You know, we had the reverse roles, and it was awesome. It was the best time of my life, you know, being home with the kids and cooking, and, you know, so she could focus on, you know, on career things. And, you know, and then to continue to get promoted through, you know, the aviation field, you know, we put her back into school for a master's degree, you know, just to make sure that she had one more box checked than the male counterpart. And it worked. It worked, you know, but I do think that, you know, when couples are invested in each other, you know, that those are the type of sacrifices that you make. And I don't regret a single minute of watching my wife succeed, you know. And just like they used to say in the 50s and whatnot, behind every good man was a good woman. Well, guess what? Women can't do it by themselves either. You know, everybody needs a support system. It is a team effort, especially, you know, when you're vested, you know, in a solid marriage, you know, unlike this where you can feel like the man was jealous. There was all kinds of things that he
saw himself as the victim.
Thank you. There it is. Yeah, he absolutely, like, what about me? You know, and she, you know, was kind of like, well, what about you? You know, at the same time,
because she was benefiting from everything that he sacrificed.
Okay, so what do you do? So the question is, wait, I'm not cutting you off.
No, not at all.
What do you do?
Well, in this particular situation, I don't 100%. I wouldn't know how to react in this particular situation because in a way, he really was seeing himself as the victim. But then at the same time, she was like, well, just do what you want to do. And so in a particular situation like this, you just have to do what she says. Do what you want to do and see how she turns out. I promise you, she would not like what would have happened. Guaranteed. She would have hated it.
Well, when no one extreme.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. You don't pick up the kid.
Yeah.
You don't spend the days. All of a sudden, she's just like, well, you're never here. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because this is what I've been doing while you have all this time to do everything that you want to do. So a lot of times that's what, anyone, this is what you have, when someone expresses to you like something like that, you have to just go with what they say to prove to them that no, I am doing these things. All right. And that's what made it. That's what I thought. That's what I would do.
I think what this movie does, and I think it's a perfect example, especially if you watched it with your significant other, woman, male, whoever. It's an opportunity to sit there and sit with each other and go, are you really happy with me? Is this really something that, going forward, maybe address a situation that's probably been there the entire time? What this is a challenging part about relationships that really, this could happen to every single one of us. That being said, they go through the trial. I do like the nastiness of the prosecutor. Whoever played the prosecutor role was really good. I thought the judges,
he killed. Because that's the whole point. He made you want to hate him.
Yep.
And that's exactly what you got, that feeling of like, but people like that exist. Yeah. That's the thing. Everything about this that I like about this was it was as though you're watching a real court.
Oh yeah,
happen.
And it seems like a home run anyway, because at the end of the day, there are statistics out there that when a spouse dies, the number one
55% is what I found. 55% likely it's someone that they've known or loved.
No, it's like the spouse.
Yeah,
is who it almost always turns out to be.
Right, brother.
Which scares me because I've been married for 25 years. I'm not going to France because they're not going to bring me to justice.
Oh, no. Forget you, France.
That's right.
That's it. Forget you.
Yeah.
Why does my wife want to go to France so bad?
Oh, that's going to be the greatest part about this then. It ends with a very interesting scene. You guys both have animals. I know you both love animals. I think it's a very telltale thing, the dog moving from the son, and actually the sole protector, and then coming away with the mom. Tell me what you think that.
So, what I honestly feel in that situation is that no matter, I think it's symbolism, because most symbolism is actually lost on me. But what I love about dogs specifically is unconditional love, and there may be a riff in the mother son dynamic, but the dog is gonna love her unconditionally. And I don't know if that was like the symbolism that everything's gonna be all right, or but if anything that she's still worthy of love. And that things are just gonna take some time.
Yeah.
Let's take it up to the scale. Who wants to squeeze first?
I'll go first. I think this movie is immaculate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It gets you involved emotionally, whether you want to try to withdraw from this movie or not, you try not to pay attention to it or not, this movie will get you emotionally involved, because it's such a basic concept, but then it gets all complicated.
Yeah.
It introduces you to villains that may not be villains. Maybe they're the good guys. Who knows? But at the same time, you become invested in trying to solve this murder.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. I mean, this is where it pulls you in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my favorite part of this movie is when the kid jumps in the pool and he gets the lifeguard to save him because that was his crush, and she kisses it. He gets the mouth to mouth from her. Oh, was that Sandlot too? Oh shit, my bad. Oh, I'm a sensational here. I can understand why this movie won a lot of awards. I thought the idea was great. I thought the execution was really good, but this is not my kind of movie. I do find it a little far-fetched that they would just, like the French legal system just lets a kid change their mind willy-nilly, from one little spot to another. And and they still believe them.
Yeah.
The whole time, like, whatever you say, little kid, we're going to keep your mom out of prison.
Yeah.
So I just think that's where it falls for me.
Okay, that's fair. I'm going to split you guys. I'm going to take up an astonishing. I will say this. I will never watch this movie again. Nope. Never, ever. Someone puts it on, not watching it, not worth my time. I think it's an interesting take on... I really think that this person had something against the legal system in France. I can't prove that. I mean, you can go out and you can look and you can guess and do your own research with that, but there's something about this doesn't fit with me. Either that, they actually killed someone and they wanted to write it down because it's the one thing that we kind of skirted around. The lady wrote all this. She wrote her life into actual things. So maybe like Hitchcock-esque, like you said before, this is actually a real murder that someone's admitting to. With that being said, let's go to best show. Where are we going to put it?
I'm below Ricky Stenicki, man. I mean, it's a good movie, but I mean, was it as entertaining? Is my problem. I wasn't thoroughly entertained, the entire time. The movie made me think, and I don't like to think.
I see this as like a good book to read, a slow turner page to read.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like, I don't know. I put it as at least after
below Poor Things.
Yeah.
So
no. I put it above Poor Things.
Poor Things.
I put it
below
above Poor
Dune.
Things.
By the rating itself, I wouldn't be upset if you sandwiched it between Poor Things and Barbie.
Well,
because
by our actual scale, we have to.
Yeah.
So.
Because I don't know. I mean, this movie for me was just, it was too
It was too real.
Yeah.
I think that's like I said all the time. Like this is a.
Whoa, that's.
I think it's it. This is like a very real movie.
Yeah.
It's not even. At some point, you have to. I mean, like, if anyone out there watched the Johnny Depp trial, right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is the equivalent of watching the Johnny Depp trial, except for you. I mean, you're getting all these little small details, intimate details that a window into a person's life that you know about.
Yeah.
The fact that she was bisexual.
A lot of uncomfortable truths and
extremely uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, it came out as she was exonerated. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was like, you become emotionally involved because of all these little small details about her life. Right. And that, I think, it's so simple and it's so dry. Like I
can't let you get away from this. I actually don't think it's a Johnny Depp trial. Mm. I think it's the OJ trial because of what was on the line. And because there was a very limited, Ron Goldman really didn't see what he see. They attacked OJ's personality. They went after OJ's personality because they really didn't have any direct proof that with that. And we're not even going to go in the racist part of that with Mark Furman and everything with that. But they had nothing that they could really go on. There was no smoking gun like this case. Right. So they just kept hammering forward as hard as they could on that.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. His personal, everything personal about him. Yeah. And that's also like, this is, I don't know, that's why I like this movie. Okay. I think it's a great movie.
Okay. Yeah. Then so be it.
All right.
That wraps it up in the ball. I want to know what you guys think below. GLA Nation, that's what the likes and the comments are for. Please let us know. We love responding to. We love all the interaction. We love everything you've been doing. I don't know if you just saw the last video where we said thank you for all the subscribers, but you guys are absolutely amazing.
Thanks so much.
Every day gets a little higher.
Good. We'll wrap this up. We got a few more for you this week. Thank you for your time as always. We love you guys. See ya.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings the program to its unfortunate end. If you liked or hated it so much you can't wait to see what we say next, smash that subscribe and like button. Join the family. Join the ride.